2019 Toyota Tundra Pro, Voodoo Blue.
So we're gonna put in these Yota lights, Yota LEDs. A lot of
LEDs that you hate.
So there, you need a 10mm socket, and up here you're gonna see 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be pretty easy. 4 bolts that we're gonna remove. All right, so after doing the job, tools-wise, you're gonna need a 10mm socket wrench. That's easy. Get a pair of cutters to cut the ends of the wire tie. Adjustable wrench. I don't know what size the back of the nut is for the LEDs. And then a trim removal tool that's useful for pushing things in crevasses. All right, so you're gonna have 10 of these bolts, put them aside. Next, you don't have to remove this. I did, it just pops up with your fingernail. So we'll put it out of the way. So for the next part, there are these pop rivets, push pin rivets, they come out. If you don't already have one of these, you can get this on Amazon. There's like 20 bucks, 30 bucks. Use it. Don't use screwdrivers to take your components off, especially your interior. That's one. These are a lot easier than the BMW ones. The BMW ones are. So next you're gonna lift this up, and you'll see, you can kind of use your brain. You kind of pick this up out of the way. It rests on those spots, and the top part is loose. All right, it's a little tricky. So come on top, and you can see how there's a divot. That divot is a raised edge, which it's inside of that. And what you want to do, come back over here. What you want to do is, if you can get your hand in there and get behind where this is, and lift up. If you lift up, this moves up and out of the way. Sounds easier than what it is, but it's not that hard. So the other side, you put your hand inside, you'll reach back in there, and you'll find underneath there, there's a black thing, and you'll feel the other end of that. It almost feels like a popsicle stick. You want to lift it up or down. No, it's got to be down because there's a ledge there. And it comes out. And if you have a sensor for your dynamic cruise control, is that what that is for? Then that'll be in the way. You will need to take this off, like I said earlier. Just pop it off with your finger or your trim removal tool. Nice. And you're gonna come around here. Hang on. And these harnesses are removed by pressing on the back and pulling. Of course, they make it look hard. It's pretty easy. Usually this comes off. There we go. Hear that click?
Yeah.
So push on where your thumb releases with the tool, and it will click, and it slides off. That's one. And then 2.
Nice.
So according to the instructions, it says to lay out the harness. Here's the center one's right above the Y and the O, and then you'll have a gap in the other ones and the other ones. What you're going to do is you're going to remove the nut. So unscrew the nut, get everything loose, the washer, all that stuff. And you're going to slide this into the grill. And then it will fix itself. And you put everything back. The big washer, the lock washer, I think is what it is. Come on. Come on. Yay. It's like those games, you know, the kids with the rings with the... and then tighten this to 25 foot-pounds. I don't know. I don't think they give you a torque spec for this. Nah. The Germans would, I guess. And then we do the same for the other ones. So because this 2019 model doesn't have the support beams per some of the instructions, we did our best to run it through the channel. And now that I'm saying that, actually, why don't we try running it around under here? We're going to run, this is the top part, run these through here. I think what I did was something like this. Again, using my trusty trim tool. This thing has 1,000 uses.
It's great. It's a great tool.
It's made for your interiors, so you don't scratch up everything when you're trying to get into your door panels. All right, and when that's done, I think the idea was, do you want to do it like that? So we could zip tie these together. Come back and tighten it up. And then probably run this through here. What? Trim that off. Okay, and then let's go reinstall this. Let's get this in. That slides in. Arms go out of the way. I think you give it a love tap. Yep. That goes on. Plug anything you unplugged. Click back together. And this we should be able to snake or route through the opening of the there's a spot here where the AC return lines for the condenser is. Run it through right there. Come on this side. That's one part. Ground. Eventually. And that's it. Leave that part there. We can probably attach these with a zip tie. So I'm going to attach this zip tie somewhere. Yeah. I don't know why I'm on my tip of my toes. Feels like it helps. Okay. Should get a new pair of these. Look up better. Okay. Good. And then we put the bolts back. Now it occurred to me, just as I'm putting this all back, I might want to test it before I screw all this stuff back in there. The ground, it goes over the battery, and that's kind of weird. So instead, I'm going to try to route it, this back, instead route it through, there's an opening on the shroud, it's like a fan shroud, but it comes up here and through, and then it'll come out on this side. I'll try that instead. Because then when it routes right to the ground. over here. Before it was coming over the battery, and this looks nicer. All right, and this is 10 millimeter bolt. That's how you do it. Okay, nice, good and tight. And the next spot, I think, goes on your fuse box, which I lifted up by pressing this thing and popping it up. If I remember correctly, I think it was down here, which is over here somewhere. 10 amp LED LH, maybe? Left-hand drive, maybe, I think. Thankfully, the Japanese gave us a little fuse puller. So you pinch it. And I think we were going to do INJ, yes? Correct. So if you look at the map, buried treasure here, INJ is there. So it's the fourth from the bottom, or third from the, you get it. So what I do is, press that over here. We look over here. These are blank, nothing in those two. The bottom one is IGN. We don't want that one. We want this one, which is INJ. So we're going to grab our fuse puller, pull our fuse, and shove this one in instead. Okay? And now we blow the car up. Don't turn it on. Put the lights back on again. What seems like you need to do is pull this 2 amp fuse from the kit, and you can try to use your little fuse puller. Okay, take that out. Put it in your pocket.
Save this for a good time.
Put it in your poly pocket. And then you grab the 10 amp there, and you put that inside there. Ah, only to realize they won't fit. See how these are short? Remember I said put it in your pocket? Take it out of your pocket. One that has a vampire teeth, the other one doesn't. So, ship to AutoZone to pick up a 10 amp, whatever these type of fuses are, and you put that in there, and that's how it works. Now, here's what they don't tell you. You need to put, when you take that 10 amp fuse out, you have to buy another one and put it in place. Let's put it this way. Whatever fuse amperage, whatever amp fuse is in there, 2, 5, 6, you need to put that corresponding one next to the one that the kit comes with. So we had a 10 amp in there and a 10 and a 2 that was in the kit that it came with. So we took the 2 out and put the other 10 in there, which you had to buy at the store. And when you do that, you route it so the wire doesn't kind of block the case. When you do that, you get lights like that.